Hi, my name is Dorian, and I'm a massive nerd about a lot of things, but today I want to talk about lace, or more specifically, bobbin lace. This is just an overview. I can't cover everything I want to in this video, but I've linked a couple resources and tutorials in the description box in case you want to learn more. Lace is one of the many elements of the family of crafts called fiber arts. I define fiber art as the art of working with natural and synthetically derived yarn, thread, and fabric to create textile items or objects. Lace is a type of textile that is typically used as a decorative element on clothing, accessories, and many other items. Modern lace is almost entirely machine-made, but this has not always been the case. In pre-industrial European society, clothing was extremely expensive. Fabric production required people to gather and spin wool, process and spin flax into linen, or import extremely expensive silk. Cotton may have sometimes been available in Europe, but I just want to note that it was too expensive and impractical to be commonly used until the rise of chattel slavery. Okay, but more on lacemaking itself. The craft likely originated in the 16th century when European artisans began to make garment trims separately from larger garment textiles to conserve materials. There are lots of ways that lace can be made by hand, such as needle lace, tatting, crochet, cutwork embroidery, and the method I am focusing on today, bobbin lace. Bobbin lace requires specialized lace bobbins, straight pins, a lace-making pillow, a pattern, and depending on the pattern, a tiny crochet hook or a threaded needle. I had to include some bobbin lace ASMR here. It's so satisfying. You may be asking, but Dorian, why is this piece already half completed? Weren't you carefully planning to make an entire piece of lace specially for this video? The answer to that is, yes, I was going to do that, but I underestimated how long actually making this piece of lace would take. At the midpoint in the project, I had put about 13 hours of work into making this single, relatively small piece of lace, and for my sanity, I couldn't restart it. I have gained a tremendous amount of respect for the people who historically handmade lace. This is tedious, technically challenging work that requires a great number of specialized skills and takes a major toll on your body. Focusing on the small details of this piece has been challenging. As someone with joint issues, I had a hard time maintaining the level of dexterity that doing this craft well requires. At the end of a session of working on this piece, I am stiff and cranky. I can't imagine what it would have been like to do this job full-time in poor working conditions, as historical lace makers did. My experiences with this particular craft, as well as many others such as knitting and sewing, often give me an insight into art forms that have typically been labeled as women's work, and thus as frivolous and unimportant. The historical practice of intensely gendering this type of craft is counterproductive and places it in a role separate from that of traditional fine art forms. Textile art has historically been undervalued, likely because it has been something that, at least in Western society, is primarily seen as an option of artistic expression for women. I want to note that this distinction is both misogynistic and false, as people of all genders did and continue to do fiber arts. It is not something that is publicly celebrated in the same way as painting, but it requires the same amount of skill to create a beautiful and usable piece of lace as it does to create a piece of traditional visual art. Developing my lace-making skills on this project has been a rewarding and challenging experience. I am by no means an expert, and I've enjoyed the process of creating and documenting a little bit of my journey with this craft, as well as learning more about its historical context. Here's some footage of the finished piece. I hope you're excited to learn more about bobbin lace, and happy crafting!